What's the strangest conversation that you've ever overheard? My friend says he was once walking through the mall when he overheard an old man say, I haven't had real human pussy in so long. Apostrophe. Him concerned about what he has had. Real human dick maybe? On a plane, sitting near a traveling baseball team of boys about 14, 16ish. No dude, you don't understand. Has like the best chinchilla breeder in the country. It's always good to have a chinchilla plug. There's a sentence I literally never thought I'd see. I used to drive Uber. I once picked up a guy and two girls from a house to drive to a restaurant. All of them were toasted. One girl appeared to be the guy's much younger girlfriend. The other girl was her friend. The girlfriend asked the other girl, oh my god, you know what I'm really looking forward to? The friend answered, the threesome. Without missing a beat, the girlfriend said, no, the spring rolls, they are so good. All I could do was laugh to myself. Not necessarily overheard, but when I was younger, I had neighbors that would sit in their car in their driveway with a car on for hours. They lived in their house alone, so it's not like they had kids or family to escape from. My mom eventually asked why they sat and talked in their car for hours and hours. The lady said, so our dog can't hear us. Apostrophe. Okay. Honestly, I think she had some sort of dementia and her husband just went along with it. I was going to guess hotboxing in the car. What is hotboxing, please? Thank you. It was in the bus. There were two guys. One of them had birthday that day. Their conversation was something like, dude, you're 35. What do you want to do in life? Well, I'm still at the university. I don't know, bro. That's your 7th major. You need help. I'm still laughing about it. I wonder how much debt he must be in from that university addiction. That's dangerous stuff. Not every country has expensive education. Maybe that happened in Europe. My fiance and I were kayaking, and a group of about 5 people ahead of us were talking. One man loudly says, I can't keep her out of the toilet. She brushes her teeth with toilet water. A woman then said, what? You brush your teeth with toilet water? And the accused woman responded with, yeah, it, and I couldn't make out what else she said. My fiance looked at me and asked if he had heard all of that correctly, and I confirmed that he had. This was this past summer and I think about it all the time. In a hotel bar, guy 1 says, how do we sell more caskets? Apostrophe. Guy 2 responds, hope for a plane crash. Apostrophe. If only they knew what bat on the menu would do, lol. Chicken of the cave. I worked as an Uber driver for a while and picked up a passenger who was speaking Italian loudly into his phone. Little did he know I studied in Florence for 4 years, so I understood most of what he was saying. At one point he uttered in a hushed tone, I don't know what to do. The spoon is still stuck in my ass. Did he mention how he got the spoon in his ass? Million to one shot. Doc. Walking through a market that is known to sell Santeria and witchcraft stuff, I overheard an old man asking someone to put a curse on someone who took his car by tricking him into signing some papers. Being tricked one time wasn't enough for him. Dude. Best answer. In the parking lot of a grocery store I worked at, kid saw a car with dealer tags on it. Kid, why doesn't daddy have tags that say dealer? Apostrophe. Mom, cause he sells drugs not cars. Assuming he a pharmacist. Sure, if it makes you feel better. After school I was sitting under a tree reading, and these 2 little 3rd graders boys were chatting right next to me. I didn't register what they were talking about until I heard watery poo, and it went in my mouth. His friend then said, wow, I wish that happened to me, and I had to put my book down and stare at them. They looked so excited, and I'm still confused about why poo in your mouth would excite them so much. Username does not check out. Or does it? Working maintenance in a hospital. Shared an elevator with a new grandmother on her way out of the birthing wing, and overheard her part of a cell phone call. She's doing fine. Had a little boy. Baby's good, she's going to name him a Junior when she figures out who the father is. Or that reminds me of my sister. Our sister. One time at a Waffle House I overheard my waiter making a deal with a hooker at the table behind me. Standard Waffle House stuff. Those damn Waffle Houses. I was planning on bringing my kid to one, but now I'm not sure I'll have enough money to pay enough hookers for the both of us. It was back in my high school RCL, but while we were working with clay, overheard some kids at another table asking each other if they would eat clay in a survival situation. Then they had an hour-long discussion on the nutritional value of clay and if it was even edible, which then lead into a discussion on the nutritional value of other art materials. Not gonna lie, they were making some interesting points. Can't believe him telling this, but I used to eat clay. It's absolutely disgusting. Would not recommend. This is best reply I could have ever gotten. But now I have to know, from your experience, would clay be enough to keep you alive in a survival situation? Hard not to overhear, as it was two neighbors, a married couple we hadn't met yet, yelling at each other in the front yard of the house they were renting. Most of it was incomprehensible until my wife and I both heard. Clear as day. Wife, you went down on my mom. Apostrophe. Husband, I don't ferment you complaining when I showed you how much she paid me. Apostrophe. That was when my wife and I decided to go inside so they couldn't hear us laughing. Edit. Phone auto-corrected remember to ferment. I don't remember you complaining. Apostrophe. Was at the library studying. Heard a guy on the phone with his significant other say, yeah baby, I still love Sharknado. Almost apologetically too. Like she was accusing him otherwise. Plot twist, Sharknado is their kid. In my ceramics CL but a few weeks ago, a few kids were talking about what happens to a single child when the parents divorce. They mentioned splitting the child, like in half, and got the whole class's attention right fast. Teacher included. The next Solomon. Wisest man to ever exist, right? January 97. Was in the waiting room with an appointment with a psychiatrist as I'd experienced a kind of dark night of the soul, spiritual crisis of sorts. Long story, and I'm fine now. Little kid across from me sitting beside his dad. Takes a look at me, then whispers to his dad it's him. Apostrophe. Very unsettling. Kids in psychiatrist waiting rooms are creepy. I remember seeing a kid maybe 6 to 8 screaming at his mom that he wanted his nighttime medicine. She probably wanted him to have his nighttime medicine as well. Probably not the weirdest conversation I've heard, but this question brought back a weird memory. Sophomore year of high school. A pair of girls were arguing in front of me. One of them was trying to convince the other that she should break up with her boyfriend since she deserved better, since they were right in front of me and were making no effort to be quiet or subtle. I heard the whole thing. Well, they realized that I was unintentionally following the conversation, turned around towards me and asked my opinion as a third party. And what was your opinion? Do you feel like she did indeed deserve better? Give us the real answers. Lance. In high school, skipping CL but hanging out in the library. Another kid is doing work at the table next to mine, and a couple of other dudes join him and start talking all together, and it's also absurd that I have to strain myself to contain my laughter. I don't exactly remember how the conversation got to this point, but the first kid starts talking about his personality traits and concludes with something to the effect of, Kid 1. And that's why I'm a Pisces. Kid 2. What's a Pisces? Question mark. Kid 3. I think it's a fish. Kid 2. Yeah, a fish? Question mark. I stopped being able to hold it in at that point. Everything's funnier in the library. Dude 1. Hey man. What do you think a penguin would taste like? Like, would it taste like chicken but cold? Apostrophe. Dude 2. Curtis, are you okay? Like, did you hit your head or something? Apostrophe. Dude 1. No, I'm fine. It's just something that keeps me up at night. This happened last year in my school's lunch line. I was standing in front of the two guys and it really got me thinking about what penguins might taste like. One would assume it cooked the penguin, and it wouldn't be cold then. At a restaurant, a lady was on the phone talking loudly. I cannot recall the whole conversation, but one sentence still stands out to me. She said, I swear to God, I hope I never see my kids alive in this world again. Apostrophe. I have no clue as to why, but maybe they are better off if she doesn't. Tell mom hi for me. I was in Vegas. It was between 2 and 3 AM, and I was heading up to my room in the elevator. An attractive young couple gets in the elevator behind me. They are dressed up like they had been out clubbing. They proceed to have a fairly frank conversation about swapping partners with another couple they had met. They both agree that they find the other couple attractive and that it would be fun. Then stop the elevator on the next floor to catch one going down. Was never sure if they were just messing with the old guy in the elevator or if that was really what they were off to do. The older I get, the more I believe they were embracing the what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas mantra. I'm a female, and I was in Vegas a few years ago, and I was propositioned by a couple while I was coming up from the pool alone. I bet they weren't ducking with you. Vegas is Vegas. I'm standing in line at the Best Buy Geek Squad counter to get my laptop fixed, and this lady in front of me has a number written on a piece of paper and she's asking the guy what it means. So he's asking her if it's a serial number, or a model number, or what, so he can get some context, and she refuses to answer, but she's getting more and more agitated and insistent, and they go back and forth like that for a while. Finally she admits that she found it somewhere on her computer, and that she thinks the Chinese government put it there when they hacked her computer with the help of Bill Gates. Then she starts going on about how the government rigged her brother's car to crash and poisoned her mother or something. After she's done, the guy is just like, sorry, we can't help with that. The Chinese government is plotting against me and Bill Gates. Apostrophe. Sorry ma'am. Have you tried a plant dissection? Apostrophe. I was walking home from CL Batonde and I overheard two girls talking. If a guy has good teeth, I'm going to duck him. Heard that and tuned out because I don't know where it came from and I don't know where it was headed, but I knew I didn't belong. Why? Because you don't have good teeth? I actually have pretty nice teeth. I was tempted to butt in and say excuse me, but I had braces and shine these pretty pearls, but I decided against it. Can't remember it exactly word for word. This was overheard on my college campus. I've since graduated. He took a shower. I have photographic evidence. Went to a Mexican restaurant once with my mom, and as soon as we sat down we just heard a woman very loudly go, honey, if you keep sleeping with your babysitters I will have to get you new ones. My husband and I were in a booth at a restaurant and the booth behind us sat a young man, his girlfriend, and her parents. The boyfriend said, I don't know if my lips are dry because I lick them too much or not enough. It's never that you don't lick them enough. Licking them just removes oils. Use lip balm or eat something greasy. I know that's not what the thread is about, but the guy's lack of understanding disturbs me. One time I was waiting at the dentist and I heard two women talking and it went like, I just found out who was using my phone when I'm not around. Apostrophe. How? Question mark? Apostrophe. I download a security app that takes pictures when someone tries to unlock my phone. Apostrophe. Then she made a pause. Dude, my phone is now full of pictures of my cat. My cat would like to sit on my phone since it was warmer than the counter. So I ended up with a few photos of its butt. Oh, that's cute. One time when I was in the study hall in high school I heard these two guys talking about girls. One of the guys was planning to have a girl sleepover and he wanted to cook her a 3-course meal. He thought a 3-course meal was breakfast, lunch and dinner. They were around 17 to 18 years old. That is really wholesome. I was folding laundry in a campground laundromat that backed up on the men's room. A little boy in the men's room, guessing 8 to 10 years old, was all but crying. Daddy, I've got burning butthole. My butthole burns. Daddy. They went back and forth for some time about the boys' issue. We still use that phrase today. So funny, but you had to feel for the kid. I mean, who hasn't had BB at some point in their life? The ring of fire, as we say after a curry in the UK. There have been 37 assassination attempts on Trump's. That's why they replaced him with a double. I love working at Walmart. When I was a waiter I would sometimes eavesdrop on conversations as I was walking by the tables. Not enough to really find out anything, but it was funny about 1% of the time. One time I walked by a table with two dudes just in time to hear one guy say sure. The first time I saw a moose I got excited as well. On that one I actually stopped and looked at him. We all had a laugh. Moose are pretty exciting. Scary big. And exciting. Listen to mom talking to her mortified teen and her friends about her love of large black phalluses at a pizza restaurant. When I typed up phallus on the internet I thought it was going to be some sort of spot like a blackhead, and oh boy was I wrong. I will not be looking this up. When I was like 14 I overheard two older boys on a bus talking about how they were terrified of going to the bathroom on planes because the toilets make a weird noise when it flushes. I thought it was the funniest shit ever back then. I quoted their conversation for years. It has been 7 years and I still remember it vividly. Wow. That really was a funny shit, which has been dropped onto many fine gardens as the plane flew over. A woman on the phone, who spoke in a cheery voice throughout, no change in tone at all. Yeah. Yes, that sounds great. I love that cafe. I'll put that in my diary. I'm looking forward to it. That's probably because she's a disgusting whore and doesn't know any better. Yup, that sounds good. Okay, I'll see you then. Bless her heart. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.